So we'll see pin description of 80386. Okay. So this 80386 microprocessor is packaged in a I32 pin PGA box. And as we seen, this 80386 having the 4 gigabyte of memory, which is having 32 bit of data bus and 32 bit of address bus. So this is the pinout diagram of 80386. Okay. Now this is group wise pinout diagram. Here we can see the number of pins of 80386 group wise. Okay, so if you see here, there is the data bus section. So data bus is of size 32 bit. So D0 to D31, that is 32 bit wide long data bus, and this is bidirectional data bus. Is what through the processor and from the processor or to all the devices we can send or receive the data. Then there is bus control group pins. Bus control group pins. So in all the bus cycles like read cycle, write cycle, will use these signals. Means processor use these signals: ADS bar, NA bar, BS16 bar, and ready signal. Then there is bus arbitration group. So in this hold and HLDA pins are used. So we'll see this one by one. Then there are interrupt groups. So for the external interrupts, these pins are used: INTR and NMI pin and reset pin. Reset is also is one of the interrupt. Okay. Then there is address bus. Again, the address bus is of size 32 bit long. So but A2 to A31 pins are used for the address bus, and pin number A0 and A1. Pin number A0 and A1 are used for this bank enable signals. So there are 4 banks in the 80386. We will see that structure in the coming topics. Okay, but A0 and A1 pins are encoded or used for selection of this 4 byte enable banks or bank enable signal as a bank enable signals. Okay, then there are bus cycle definitions. Bus cycle definitions. So again there are 4 pins. So W R bar, then DC bar, MIO bar, and log bar. Okay. Then there are coprocessor signals. So when I use coprocessor like 80387 is a coprocessor, math coprocessor, or 80287. So for that purpose, the 386 use these pins: busy pin, error pin, and the request pin. Then for the power connections, VCC and ground pins are used, and there is the clock pin at the top. Okay, so we'll see this one by one now, each group. Okay, so first group is address bus connection. So as I said, A2 to A31 pins are used for the address bus connection, which are address any of the 4 gigabyte of memory location. Then A0 and A1 pins, A0 and A1 pins are encoded in a bus enable B0 to B3 to select any or all the 3 banks. Okay, so A0 and A1 are used for to select one of the bank or all the banks, or 2 banks, 3 banks, or all 4 banks. Okay, then so these are the bank enable signals BE0 to BE3. So these signals select the access of byte, word, or double word of the data. Okay, so as we know that we can do the operations on byte or word or double word. So depend on the data size, this bank enable signals are used. Then these signals are generated internally by the microprocessor from the address pins A0 and A1. Depend on the size of data. Then this 32-bit data bus supported by 80386 and memory system of 386 can be viewed as a 4-byte wide memory access mechanism. And this 4-byte enable lines are B0 to B3 and that are used for enabling these 4 banks. Okay, so B0 is used for enabling the first bank, B1 is used for enabling the second bank, B2 signal is used for enabling the third bank and so. Okay, so using these 4 enable signal lines, the CPU may transfer 1 byte or 2 byte, 3 byte and up to 4 byte of data simultaneously by using these 4 bank enable signals. Then there is data bus. Again, data bus is of size 32-bit long, so D0 to D31. So this data bus connections transfer data between the microprocessor and its memory and the IO system, as it is a bidirectional data bus. Okay. Then there are bus cycle definition pins. So this group of pins are used for the bus cycle. Bus cycle can be read bus cycle, write bus cycle or control cycle. The first pin in this group is M or IO. So this is a output pin. So this output pin differentiate between memory and IO cycles. If this pin select a memory device when this pin is 1. When this pin is 0, it select the IO device for the data transfer. Okay, so data transfer takes place from the memory or to the memory when this pin is at logic 1. When it at logic 0, it transfer the data between the IO devices and the microprocessor, CPU means. Then there is the second signal WR bar. So this pin distinguish between read and write cycles. Okay. So this indicate that when the current bus cycle is right, so at that time the write the signal WR bar signal is 1 and otherwise it is 0 when there is the read bus cycle. Okay. Now, the third pin in this group is DC bar, data or control pin. So this pin distinguish between the data transfer cycle from the machine control cycle. Okay, so it indicate data bus contain data for or from the memory of IO when at logic 1 and when it is at logic 0, so microprocessor is using the interrupt acknowledgement cycle. So like that. Okay, so next signal is lock. Lock is, so this pin enables the CPU from preventing other bus masters, so other devices from gaining the control of the system bus. When the when this pin is activate or enables, so at that time other bus master cannot access the bus. Okay, and there is bus control pins. Next group of pins are bus control pins. So read and write cycles we can control through these pins. First pin is ADS, that is address data stop. So this address status, this is the output pin. Okay, from the microprocessor it gives the signal to the other devices. Okay, so as this status output pin indicate that the bus address and the bus cycle definitions pins are carrying a valid address on the address bus. when this pin is enabled. Okay, so this is ADS bar. So when it is 0, at that time the address bus is carrying the valid address. Okay, so this signal becomes active whenever 80386 has issued a valid memory or IO address. Next pin is NA. It is also a NA bar pin. Okay, so this is next address. Okay, full form is next address. So this next address causes 80386 to output the address of the next instruction, okay, or data in the current bus cycle. Okay, so it gives the output that address of the next instruction or the data. Then the third pin is BS16. BS16 bar. Okay, so this pin selects either 16 bit of data or 32 bit of data. So when this signal is 1, so it selects 16 bit of data. Sorry, 32 bit of data, and when this pin is 0 means low, at that time it selects 16 bit of data bus. So the data bus carries only 16 bit of data. Okay, mostly 80386 operated on the 16 bit of the data bus. Then the next pin is ready pin. Okay, so this signal indicate to the CPU that the previous bus cycles has been terminated and the bus is ready for the next bus cycle. Means suppose previously read bus cycle was carrying out and it was terminated. So at that time this ready signal will be activate to communicate to the CPU that previous bus cycle is over and now the bus is ready to take the next bus cycle. Okay, if this pin is not active, it means that the previous bus cycle requires some time to complete. So what CPU does? CPU insert the wait state. It insert the wait state in the bus cycle. Okay, and it is useful for interfacing the slow devices with the CPU to complete it bus cycles. Okay. The next group of pins are interrupt pins. So before seeing the interrupt pins, we'll see what is interrupt. Okay, so interrupt is nothing but what? It is a signal to the processor emitted by the hardware or the software. The hardware may be the external hardware. It indicating that some event is occurred and it requires some attention for the execution purpose. Okay, for example, you can say the printer. When I want to take a printout through the printer is connected to the hardware device which is already in the processor. Okay, so we are giving the command for the printing. So at that time, so the processor gets some interrupt signal as a external interrupt, and it means it asks the external hardware device ask the attention of the processor for its execution purpose. Okay, so the interrupt alert the processor to a high priority condition requiring the interruption of the current code of the processor is being executing. Okay, the processor may respond by suspending its current activities, saving its state, and executing a small program called the interrupt handler or the interrupt service routine. Okay, to deal with the event, maybe external, maybe internal, maybe the event may be which initiated by hardware or it may be initiated by software. Okay, so this interruption is temporary, and after the interrupt handler finish its routine, the processor can resume its execution of the previous load. So how this interrupt is execute? In this way, the interrupt may be execute. So for this purpose, the processor require some pins. Okay, first pin in this groups is first pin is INTR pin, that is interrupt request. So this interrupt request is used by the external circuitry to request an interrupt. So this interrupt pin is maskable interrupt, and that can be masked by using some interrupt flag which is in a flag register by the processor. Okay, maskable means what? It can be stopped. It can be stopped for the for that current time, and it can give the processor time afterwards. So that is which is given by INTR pin. Then there is a pin NMI, that is non-maskable interrupt pin. As its name is non-maskable, so this non-maskable interrupt is what has to be executed by the processor. So means it the processor time has to be give to this non-maskable interrupt, and processor execute it, and then after execution of this non-maskable interrupt, then processor can resume its current work. Then there is reset pin. So the high means the logic high at this pin suspend the current operation and restart all the execution from the starting locations which already we have discussed as FFFFF0. Okay, so after this pin is reset, the current execution is start from this physical location. What it means, the first instruction is being loaded at this address. Okay, then there is a group of bus arbitration pins which contain hold and HLDA pins. So this bus hold input pin, this is the input pin. This enable other bus master to gain the control of the system bus. Okay, means what? 80386 processor can give its bus data or address bus to the other bus masters also, the external bus masters. Okay, so when this pin enables, at that time the other bus master can gain the control of the system bus. Then HLDA pins means hold acknowledge. The full form is hold acknowledge. So this is the output pin. So this pin indicate that when it active, the 80386 is currently in a hold condition. Means what? Ki other bus masters are using the system bus. Okay. Then there are last group of signals are coprocessor signals. Coprocessor signals. So in this group there are three pins which are all input pin. So first is BZ pin. So this BZ input signal indicate to the CPU, that is 80386 microprocessor, that the coprocessor which can be 80387 or 80287. So that coprocessor is busy with the allocated task when this pin is active. Okay, this input is used by the wait instruction. Okay, so there is wait instruction in the instruction set, so this pin is used by that wait instruction. Then there is error pin. So this pin indicate to microprocessor that there is some error occurred, error is detected by the coprocessor while executing its instruction. Okay, then there is a pin request ask. So this coprocessor requests to the 80386 to relinquish control, and is a direct connection to 80387 arithmetic coprocessor. Means what? 80387 can directly connect to the system buses and can do the arithmetic operations. Then there are clock timers and the power connection. So this clock pin is the input pin, okay, and which provide the clock timing for the 80386 operation. Then VCC pin, so this is a power supply lines. VCC is a power supply line, and VSS, that is a ground pin, which is these are the return lines from the power supply which are used for the power connections.